From Ventura, California, and we're talking about detoxification and natural health. We're talking about lymphatic detoxification, cellular detoxification. Really, we're talking about your sewer system. And your sewer system is your lymphatic system. It is the main fluid of your body. So this is what we're going to concentrate on tonight. And I'm going to be taking your questions, and we're going to kind of help you guys get back to health or improve your health by learning about this system. And it's really actually really super simple. Cleaning the lymph system is really easy. You get the kidneys filtering, you open up that kidney door, and then you start moving the lymph with herbs and with raw food, mostly fruit. We'll get this lymphatic fluid moving, and then it will clean itself through the kidneys, and then the acids and toxins will be eliminated from the body. So that's how simple it is. But you know, we've as human beings, we tend to complicate things. So this is where the fun begins: is uncomplicating everything. And you know, we've gotten ourselves in a mess here. You know, mankind has really progressed on a technological basis, and you know, has done some wonderful things. We've gone to the moon, and you know, we've made these fantastic computers and robots and all these things. But when it comes to health, you know, we're approaching 1 in 2 people getting cancer. So we're going backwards in a lot of areas, and we need to put a stop to that, because it's getting really, you know, at an epidemic level. I mean, it's intolerable to think that you know, 1 in 2 of your friends is going to have cancer, and 1 in 3, if the trend continues, is going to have diabetes. So you know, your chances of getting a really serious degenerative disease are super high, and you know, it doesn't have to be this way. And by returning to nature, by realigning with nature's laws, and with the chemistry that is already here on Earth, the natural chemistry, we can really help ourselves. And you know, the word human actually is derived from humus, which is earth. We are of the earth. We are made of the chemistry of the earth. So when we start putting in foreign chemistry, man-made chemistry, or if we start taking the earth chemistry, the foods that we're supposed to eat, and we start cooking them and manipulating them, we change that chemistry. And then the body doesn't know what to do with it. It gets confused, and it doesn't really know precisely what to do with it. You're putting in foreign chemistry in the body. So this is how I believe we get in trouble health-wise, and how we don't operate our bodies at their maximum potential. I mean, we are just fantastic beings here, and we can operate at such a higher level. And you know, you can do this through detoxification. Detoxification leads to purification, which leads to regeneration. In other words, you can regenerate any cell in the body back to perfect health, back to what the creator, if you will, has in mind. You know, the blueprint of the body, the electrical blueprint, electronic blueprint of the body is always there. You can return to this if we just clear out what we put into it. If we just get out of the way, we return back to the laws of Mother Nature, and realign ourselves back with that. It's really that simple. But man, is it difficult to do this. You know, I mean, I was thinking today, we you know, the minute that we're born into their world. We're born into their hospital. The first person we probably see is a doctor. You know, we're born into this system. You know, somebody said, you know, I don't know who discovered water, but I can certainly tell you it wasn't a fish. And what he meant by that is the fish is completely immersed in the water, so he has no clue of what water even is. So here we are, you know, in our own little Truman Show, if you will, and we're born into a medical system that we take for granted. We say that, okay, you know, this system of you know, the pharmaceuticals and the medical industry and the food industry, this is the way it is because we were born into it. You know, General Foods knows what's good for us. You know, Kellogg's knows what's good for us. You know, does that dumb old tree over there know what's good for us? I don't know. I mean, I think it does, but I used to not think it does. So, we've gotten, maybe we put in too much trust in science and technology and not enough trust in nature. But I can tell you from my own experiences, with myself and with others, I mean, by returning to a high fruit diet, we're a frugivoric species. And you can tell that by the GI tract that we have. You can tell that by our hands, our fingers are for peeling and picking fruit. Our teeth structure, all that. I mean, we are a frugivore species. So by returning to a high fruit diet, and then the vegetables, the herbs, the soft green herbs, the leafy greens, the the fruit vegetables like your cucumbers and tomatoes and things like that. By returning to these things that are easily digestible, full of energy, full of life force. The life force is cooked out of the food when we cook it and changes chemistry. The living life force, the enzymatic action in the food, and all that is destroyed through the cooking. So by just simply returning to this and then understanding herbs, understanding the power of herbs and how they're here for us, these herbs can do individual specific little jobs that are so fantastic. And there's a big thing on the Facebook groups today. I won't mention names, but a guy, a well-known, he's a detox guy, but he's more into the water fasting. He said that herbs are toxic to the body and they only suppress things. Well, I would like this man to do a full dose of the GI broom and then tell me that they don't do anything. I mean, come on. Or do the lymphatic lymph nodes 5 or something. Come on, these things are super powerful. He may have not experienced this. It's not in his realm, so he poo-poos it. But I can tell you right now, these herbs are fantastic, and they're here for us. And they are of great assistance when we're trying to detox. When you have put this foreign chemistry, for the most part, into the body for all these decades, and then you start to try to detox your way back to health, you're in for quite it's a complex, difficult task to do this. I mean, I shouldn't say complex. It's actually really simple, and it really isn't that difficult. But you sticking on it is difficult, and you being able to dig deep in and get down to the levels that need to be cleaned out of the body. You're going to need the assistance of herbs most likely, unless you've lived a very pure life. So, and just being bombarded by just daily living, the toxins that are in our environment now were not there even a decade ago. I mean, Fukushima was only, I think, 5 years ago, or even less. I can't remember the exact time. Yeah, some 4 or 5 years ago. So, we're being introduced to new toxins. The U.S. military uses as one of their weapons depleted uranium. Why they do this, I have no idea. And I think the half-life of this is like 50,000 years. I mean, this is insanity. So we have to be able to navigate this insanity and not let it build up in the body, and keep keep the sewer system flowing, keep it strong, keep it purifying the body. Also, in the history of man, there is a cycle of plague. In other words, these viruses come around and they sweep the planet every once in a while. And this is just a fact of being here on the planet. And these operate outside of man, even though, we have over 100 bioweapons labs on this planet, which is another insanity. But that's another point. But plagues do exist, and they do circle the globe, and they have been known to take out large numbers of people. Now, some people survive these plagues just fine, and those are the people that have a strong immune system, and your immune system is your lymph system. So this is another reason to keep this strong. This planet can be very inhospitable at times. So anyways, the sewer system is the focus of what we talk about. Everything relates back to everything. All the so-called diseases relate back to a remedy of cleaning out your sewer system. It really all boils back down to that. It's pretty amazing how that happens. And to fear microbes, to fear um, viruses and bacteria and all that is not really the place you should put your focus. Yeah, there's some fear behind that, of course, but the body can deal with these sorts of things. The body can flush this out. The lymph system can handle this. And this is the good news. You have intelligences inside your lymph system, the lymphocytes, particularly, the natural killer cells, the T cells, the macrophages that are inside the lymph nodes. These things are awesome agents against what's not supposed to be in your body. They're intelligent. They know if this stuff is not welcome in the body. They attack it, they destroy it, they get it, and flush it down to the kidneys, and it's out of you. And it's amazing what you can deal with, when you have a strong immune system. But if your lymph system's clogged up, if it's backed up, if it's moving slow, if it's sluggish, this stuff can manifest. It can really build up large colonies and overtake you. So it's very important to keep the fluids flowing. Okay, and you're not going to be able to do that having the all-you-can-eat Olive Garden pasta bar twice a week, or just eating all this garbage that is sold as food, even at Whole Foods. I mean, it's got to be at least 90% of Whole Foods is dead food. So, don't let the labels fool you. Just because it says it's healthy, it doesn't mean so. So, we want to step outside of our conditioning. My dad had carotid artery surgery. He doesn't eat well. I'm just going to leave it at that. But, he's old school, and he puts butter on his steak, okay? And, he's not a fan of vegetables and doesn't have a lot of fruit. But anyway, I went in there just to visit him in the hospital. I don't like hospitals. I never have. They give me the creeps. But the people working in the hospitals did not look healthy. The room he was in had a small slit for a window, and that was smoke. That was darkened. There was absolutely no sunlight coming in there. It was fluorescent lighting. Just horrible, horrible lighting. Anyways, he was sitting there, and he had his dinner in front of him, and on the plate was a container of milk, and there was some macaroni and cheese on his plate, and I think it was some chicken or something like that, and then some kind of a dessert, like some kind of a cake thing, and I I told the nurse, I said, this guy just had carotid artery surgery. He just had the plaque cleaned out of his arteries, and this is what you're giving him? And she looked at me and she said, sir, this was designed by a licensed dietitian. And I mean, what can you say? I mean, what can you say there? So anyways, this is where we're at. So, hopefully we can overcome our conditioning and get to higher and higher levels of raw, uncooked, unprocessed, natural, organic, or wildcrafted, or grow your own, non-hybridized, non-GMO, just back to the garden, if you will, back to real food, as real as you can get, as untouched as you can get, as fresh as you can get. This is how we're going to do this, and you're not going to need cabinets full of supplements. You're not going to need all these fancy things. There's so many new modalities coming up, all these fancy machines and processes, and take this supplement and this this vitamin, and just all these things. You don't need it. When you're eating at the highest level that nature has, you don't need these kinds of things. And and certainly you don't want to put in what's called isolated chemistry. In other words, when you take vitamin C out of the natural plant or fruit, and you isolate that and you make it, this fancy, chemical, ascorbic acid or whatever, or that's a man-made chemical actually that mimics it. But this is nothing compared to getting it from the natural source. So, anyways, I'm going to see if we have any questions that have come up yet. Anyways, I just want to say that detoxification can be difficult at times. You're going to stir up some acids in the body. You're going to uncover things that have been laying dormant for quite a long time. This can get uncomfortable, but I can tell you that it's a lot less uncomfortable than surgery, than having pieces of your colon removed every couple of years, or having organs removed and limbs removed and all these things, and cancers, God forbid, bone cancers and things like this. I mean, detoxification is a cakewalk compared to what is mathematically in store for you unless you change. And I can't stress this enough. When you look at the hard numbers and you choose to be a regular standard American diet eater, the numbers don't look good as you get older. I can just say that. The time to change this is now. Okay? And it actually is really liberating. It's really amazing what happens to you. The changes that you make both mentally, physically, and spiritually are unbelievable. And when you do have your inevitable cheats, your cheat days and all that, you go back and you feel the takedown of your being, of your consciousness, of your energy levels, all these things. When you feel the takedown, when you have a regular meal, you're going to go right back. You'll go, I don't want any part of this anymore. And that's the beauty. So, you can get a taste of what it was like once you've been on this, on a high fruit, raw food diet. You can go back and sample what it was like, and you'll run from it. Okay, so let's see if there's any questions that have come up here. And sorry I was a little bit late. I had a couple of technical issues, but let me see if I can get to your questions here. Oh, I can see we have some questions. Okay. Okay. Please forgive me if I'm trying to get, I see some questions here, but I want to make sure I start at the top, okay? Okay. Okay, so yeah, I posted, for all you people that were there last week, I posted the woman who came to Dr. Morse's office in a wheelchair with her husband, and she had advanced multiple sclerosis. She went on a high fruit diet, she went on the herbs, and she was walking again. She came to Dr. Morse's office to walk, and it was absolutely amazing, and it brought a lot of tears, and it choked me up, and it was just so wonderful. And she still has work to do, but she is on the path of regeneration, regenerating nerve tissue. So it's just so wonderful, and I hope you all got to see that, because it's just really something. Okay, so here we go. The first question from Helen. Hi, Mark. I wonder if you heard from Lauren after our discussion on my Facebook this morning. Oh, that was yours. Okay, Helen. If you do, please let me know. I would be interested to know how he justified. Okay, so yeah, this is the gentleman that I was talking about, and who was saying that herbs are not, they just suppress things, and they're toxic and all this stuff. Well, Dr. Morse had a very strong rebuttal to this gentleman, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I invited him to write back or point me to his rebuttal to Dr. Morse. And because I believe this guy's a good guy. I mean, he's doing water fasting, and that's very difficult. And he has a retreat center down in Costa Rica where he does handle some really heavy duty water fasts. So hopefully hopefully he's seen the light, or maybe that, I don't know. I'd like to see his rebuttal. That's all I can say. I'm always open for new information. Certainly, all herbs, cannot be deemed toxic because parsley is an herb, you know, and cilantro is an herb, but certainly, herbs like wormwood and poke root and these kinds of things are very powerful. You can't take these every single day. You can't take them in high doses. No, this gentleman has to qualify when he says that, because when a guy has reached this sort of stature, especially on Facebook, and puts out this kind of information, he should back it up with fact, not just opinion. So, and he's going against Dr. Morse, who has 45 years of using the herbs. And there's plenty of other practitioners that have used these things for countless years and have had great success. So I'd like, yeah, I haven't heard back from him yet, Helen, but I'd like to hear from him. We all would. we're all waiting, and I would love to get in a good discussion with him and maybe help him. Maybe he can learn and use them in his healing work. But I believe he's a healer. He's a spiritual warrior, and sometimes we all get a little bit misled. That's all I can say. I've caught myself on things, and I have been through it all, you guys. And I've had cabinets full of stuff. I've had all kinds of. I was even on a semi-paleo diet at one point, which I believe caused my fibromyalgia, by the way. But so I've been through it all, and I've been misled so many times. So, anyways, we all grow, and hopefully we're never too rigid to change. And you know, so anyways, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know about that. Okay. Yeah, Marv from Oklahoma wanted everybody to know that he's posted his email address on here, and then if you guys want to post your email addresses to converse off of this forum, that's great. I'm Mark at markjamesgordon.com. Feel free to email me, Mark at markjamesgordon.com, and then post your email addresses up there if you want to converse. Okay. I told Marv that I would do that for him. So, anyways, okay. So we're back to Helen's got another question here. She's next in the queue. What good books would you suggest written by frugivores? I would be interested to read some to help me understand the depth of the journey. Thank you. Yeah, I actually have a library of ebooks, some PDF ebooks. And if you guys want me to send you some of these books, by some of the greats, like Arnold Ehret and Hilton Hotima and who's Norman Walker. These are great. So Helen, yeah, send me your email address. You can put it up there. And yeah, if you guys want me, I'll forward you some of these PDF books, and you can have them for reads. Okay. All right. So oh, Rakos. Yeah, Rakos is back. Hi, Rakos. I'm the guy with stage 5 kidney failure. My GFR went up to 5 to 9, 6 to 9 to 15 days. I guess it might be doing something right. Yeah, you're working with Marcy, I believe, over at Dr. Morse's office. That's awesome. So. Yeah, let us know what you're doing. Hit us up again and let us know. What you're up to, what protocols you're on, what your diet is like. In all these things. Yeah, I mean this would be a big help to a lot of people, and and how you're steering the course. I know Marcy gives you some protocols, and then you probably check back with her in a couple weeks and you readjust the protocols. So. Let us know. That's fantastic, and I'm glad that you're going in the right direction there. Okay, and I'll actually reference those GFR numbers and let you know. Let you know what I think of those. Okay. Oh, see Lauren Moray for depleted uranium. Yeah, I don't know much about depleted uranium, but when I heard that the military was using this, it's like, why do you have to use something that that has a half-life in the tens of thousands of years? And it's I mean, this is nuclear warfare when you really think about it. I mean, the insanity of the military is just, I don't understand it. You know, I really don't. I mean, it must be a demonic force. That's all I can tell you. I just can't get it. Um. Okay. Sea Tahoe. Oh, okay. So, hi Mark. Just curious how often you check your blood pressure. I've tried half a dozen units, most with numerous malfunctioning issues. Is there a particular one you can suggest? Thank you so much. You know, I use the Omron IntelliSense. It's a wrist monitor, and you know, I've had people tell me that they're accurate, and other people say that they're not accurate. I think there's some things that can get in the way. Like if you have too big of a wrist or too small of a wrist, you're not going to get an accurate reading. There's certain things. I got kind of a normal wrist, I think, so I think I'm okay. But it's Omron IntelliSense. It's a wrist thing. I got it off eBay, off of Amazon for you know, around $50. Um, I think it's probably a good idea for me to take my monitor and then you know, test it against some other people's, you know, see where we're at. And if I ever go back to the doctor, which I don't know, I'll have them take my blood pressure with one of those big fancy ones and see where I'm at. I can remember I was at the mall one time and they had a blood pressure machine there that was just sitting in the mall. So I don't know if those are still around. I haven't been to the mall in a while. So, but anyways, yeah, check it against maybe some bigger, better units and see what you got. Um, you know, I just use mine and I keep an eye on the levels there. You know, if I'm 5 points off, I'm okay with that. You know, over 10, you probably need to get another one. So yeah, I guess just check it against some other ones and see what's up. You know, I read a lot of the reviews on Amazon.com before I bought this one, and it seemed to be one that people liked. So I'm going off of that. But no, I haven't tested up against a real highfalutin one. But that's probably a good idea. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, that's a great idea. And see, we all learn from each other. I love this kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Oh, we got some nice smiles. Be true and super raw vegan. All right, super raw vegan and be true. Okay, good. 311. Okay. Erica Jones, I wanted to know why I get congested when I juice greens. It seems that fruit works for me. Wow. Interesting. Well, you know, there's a couple thoughts on that. You know, you're getting congested because you're having a mucoid reaction, of course. Um, you could be, you know, depending on your level of toxicity, even a green drink can set you off into, you know, can uncover some acids. When you uncover some acids, when you do that, you're going to create some mucus. It could be that you're having some kind of a reaction to something in that green drink, which is going to be mucus forming. You know, so yeah, it's one of those two. You know, I would say that you know, let us know. You know, what's your level of toxicity. You know, fruit is going to be your most alkalizing and your most cleansing. So you know, it might be something in that green drink that's causing that mucus reaction. Okay. Yeah, just let us know, you know, if you have any idea how toxic you are, and maybe we can help you with that. Okay, or maybe take some, you know, maybe there's some things like maybe some dandelion greens or something in there that's not working for you. So you can back out of those. You know, yeah, let us know what's in your green drink and then kind of back out. Okay. All right. So be true. 311. Do you feel more like a woman when you eat fruit all the time because of the yin energy of the fruit diet? Could this potentially change your sexual preference? No, I've never had that that feeling. um, no, I can't say that. You know, and the yin energy. Okay, so the yin is a more female, more of a cool energy from the fruit. Yeah, no, you know, it is certainly a lot more yin than eating meat. That's for darn sure. Proteins. Um, you know, in thinking about this, well, number one, okay, sexual performance is really, really tied to your adrenals. You know, if you have weak adrenals, you're going to have a couple of things wrong downstairs. Okay, you're going to have inflammation because adrenals make antacid steroids. When your adrenals are down, you're not making enough antacid steroids, so you're going to have inflammation. All right, these inflammations are going to be uh, inflaming your sexual organs. Okay, for the men, the prostate's going to get inflamed. All right, you're gonna have some ED problems there with that. Um, your testes can get inflamed there and clogged up, so you're not getting enough testosterone. For the women, your ovaries are going to get clogged up. Not enough estrogen and testosterone, and both for the men too. The balance will be off, and also neurotransmitters. You know, there's neurotransmitters that are made by the adrenal glands too, which help with with things with more life force, more. The adrenal number on your blood pressure is the top number. We call it the cardiac punch. It's like, it's your neurotransmitter force. So, anyways, so by having a high fruit diet, you're going to, number one, you're gonna be clearing things out. You're gonna be clearing inflammation out. You're going to be helping those adrenals come back online. And fruit is has the highest electrical energy of any food at all. So the fruit is going to increase your sexual performance. But as far as the yin energy and the cooling of fruit, no, I mean, I mean, I guess what the fruit does is it makes me less of a macho man. Not that I ever was one, but yeah, I guess it balances me more. I believe that we need to be the proper balance of both male and female energy, and I think fruit helps you do that. I'm certainly not an aggressive person on it. You know, your hormones throughout the body as you detox become more balanced. So you're more of who you're supposed to be. You're not, you're not out of balance. And so that poses the question, is if you're too feminine and too masculine, can that be realigned? you know, through detoxification? And I haven't really thought that much about that, but this is a great question. And it's going to probably cause me to really think about this and to research it. But it's interesting, yeah. How much of our feeling of male and female balance is a cause of a hormonal imbalance. So interesting thought. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Okay, Helen just posted her email address for anybody that wants to do that. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, so Raw for Steve. Hi, Raw for Steve. Welcome back. Hi. It seems a lot of health gurus and institutes place more emphasis on greens in a detox program as opposed to fruits. They seem to be afraid of fruits and their sugars for some reason. Continued. What are your thoughts on this? They seem to have some success in helping people detox and regenerate. Thank you. Well, okay, so yeah, there's a couple questions in here. Yeah, a lot of people are afraid of fruits, and that this is really for sure. And they're a lot more comfortable with the greens. The greens will alkalize you. They will help, with a light detox. They're more for rebuilding though. Once you've detoxed, and you can switch back to a bigger balance of the green drinks and the vegetables. But For true detoxification, you have to be on high fruit, at least 80%, hopefully 90%, hopefully 100% if you got anything, serious going on. So only fruits will get you to true detoxification of your lymphatic system. Okay? You're going into interstitial. You're going in between, you're going into what surrounds the cells. You're actually going intracellular too. So only fruits have the power to do this with the assistance of the herbs. The green drinks are not going to get you there. And Dr. Moore stresses this all the time. You know, um, you know, he says it bluntly. You can't cure anything on greens. Okay, it's just not possible. And I know the Hippocrates Institute, and I know the Gerson, and all these. They have these successes. So I don't know how much fruit they're putting in their thing. I don't know how many herbs they're putting in. I don't really even know their balance there. But fruit is your highest uh, you know, um, of the healers, much more powerful than the green drinks. Okay, and but if you're an athlete, if you're trying to rebuild muscles and all these kinds of things, if you're a weightlifter, all these things, yeah, you can power up on the greens. But detoxification, make no mistake, is a fruit thing. Okay, and as far as the fruit sugars, it's really interesting. There's so much fear on fruit sugars, but when you look at what's called the glycemic load, now this is really interesting. There's the glycemic index and the glycemic load. Okay, the glycemic index is basically showing you how fast those sugars are going to get into the bloodstream. The glycemic load tells you how much sugar is going to get into the bloodstream. So this is a much more important number. And if you do the research on this, you're going to be amazed. Fruits like oranges and pears and peaches and watermelon, they have a glycemic load of 4 or 5. Bananas are higher up there, and dates are higher up there. They're up in like 10 and 12, but I think dates might even be higher. And raisins, things like that. The things that the dates and the raisins that have the water taken up, those have much more of a glycemic load. They're up, yeah, they're higher. But a bagel has a 25. Anything over 20 is extreme. Okay, a bagel. So, and the pastas are way up there too. And so, if you're going to fear anything, fear these high carbohydrate foods, these processed grains. I mean, these are super. I mean, they spike blood sugar like crazy. So don't fear the fruits. They have no glycemic load. It's unbelievable. If you go take a look at it, you'll be amazed. So I guess this is part of our programming. Just because it tastes sweet. A bagel tastes like there's not much sweetness in a bagel at all. But the glycemic load and the glycemic index, by the way, how fast it hits you, is way up there too. I believe that same bagel is in the 90s, and the fruit's like maybe in the 30s and the 40s. So glycemic load and glycemic index are off the charts for your processed grains, especially your pastas and your breads and cakes and all that and cookies. But the fruit is way down there, yet fruit gets more fear than a bagel. It's just, I don't understand it. It's just our level of ignorance. Okay, that's all I can tell you. So don't fear the fruit. It's what you're supposed to be eating. It's what you're designed to eat. It's what will bring you to Wellville. It's what will help you clear out all this crud that you put in your body for all these years. It's your savior. So not the bagel. No, no, no. Yeah, look that up. Glycemic load and glycemic index. I think you're going to really, really be amazed when you see the numbers out of the Harvard Medical whatever they call it. Go read their journal. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, so I don't know how they're getting healing out of the greens. If you're super toxic and you've been a standard American diet person, I mean, anything raw is going to help you like crazy. And I don't put down the veggies at all, but it's just, when you're detoxing, get on high fruit, and that's where you're going to find your remedy. Okay, so let's move on here. I hope that answered your question, Rob, or Steve. Um, yeah. Um, Hi, Mark. Super cool banana. I love that name. Hi, Mark. What are your thoughts on water fasting to heal autoimmune issues? Thanks in advance. Okay. Number one, I don't believe in autoimmune. I don't even know, I mean, the idea that your body's stupid and it attacks you is completely ridiculous. This is, this is just throwing your hands up and not really addressing the real problem. Let's just take an autoimmune issue like what I had, fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is basically, systemic acidosis. Acids all through. My lymph system was backed up head to toe. It was acidic. It was burning me. I was in pain head to toe. And yet they can call that an autoimmune disease. So I don't believe in that. Rheumatoid arthritis is another one. That's just systemic acidosis. Lyme's disease, lupus. These are all systemic acidosis. They're lymphatic issues. Okay, so take the power away from autoimmune, where they get to give you all these fancy prednisones and steroids and all this kind of stuff, and just detox it. Detox your body back to health. Get the acids out of there, and watch how the autoimmune thing just goes away. So on that, water fasting. Okay, water fasting is very detoxifying. Okay, I mean it is super powerful. It's the next level beyond the mono fruit. I only take it up to the mono fruit level. The mono grape is the highest that I do, and mono grape mixed with some lemon juice and water. That's the highest I go. And to do a water fast, I mean that's very extreme. Okay, and that's only for certain people. I mean, if you're super acidic, I mean, if your lymph system is backed up and it's really super acidic, you're not going to be able to handle a water fast. Okay, this is very extreme, and I think it's great. I think if you can handle it, and your whatever condition you're trying to get rid of is responds well to that, do it supervised. Definitely. Um, if you're going beyond a couple days. But yeah, no, I think it's great. Animals in nature, when they get sick, they crawl into a bush, and they mostly dry fast, and they may go down to the water hole once or twice a day. But they mostly dry fast. So fasting is nature's way of cleansing for sure. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever evolve this into water fasting. Yeah, it's not my thing yet, but it is a powerful healer for sure. Okay, hope that answers your question. Sea Tahoe, good. I'm glad, Sea Tahoe. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. You bet. Okay, I'm Rakos. I'm constantly cold since started detoxing. I assume this is part of it. I'm in San Diego. Well, I can tell you I'm in Ventura and it's been darn cold, so that might be part of it. Yeah, I don't know. You are, yeah, I don't know what you're going through right now. I don't know how hard you're detoxing, what Marcy's got you doing. But, as we know, detoxification symptoms are a lot like cold and flu symptoms. And, certainly, we get the chills, and then we might be chilly 1 hour, and then the next hour we're boiling, we're super heated up. So it could be a symptom of detoxification for sure. It could be your thyroid just acting wacky, as it detoxes. A lot of things involved there. Yeah, keep an eye on your basal temperatures. I don't know if they've got you on some thyroid herbs. Let us know, Rakos, what's going on with the thyroid there. If you have a history of thyroid problems, thyroid control, of course, controls the body temperature, and but it has been cold, no question about it. How's your adrenals? How's your blood pressures? That can certainly make you feel cold too, having low neurotransmitters. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Uh, okay, Helen, how do you help a partner or husband or wife do this diet if they still love meat? Is it simply to lead by example? Yeah, I mean that's that's about all you can do. You know, nobody is going to shift until they're ready to shift, and it can be so miraculous. I mean, out of the blue, they can shift on you. So never give up on them. Um, you know, you can go. Number one, convince them that they don't need meat, and this is what got me off meat. Is once I realized that I did not need meat, and once I realized that the sluggishness that I felt when I stopped eating meat was merely me, being used to neurotransmitters, and you know, when that animal is about to die, it knows that these are not stupid beings. They know, and they start pumping these epinephrines into the blood. So you're eating that. You're eating those neurotransmitters. You know, that fear that's in that animal is just incredible. So you get addicted to those. So, but once you get through that, you're fine. And you know, number one, tell them that they don't need it. Their body's going to actually work better. Tell them that meat is very acidic and it causes a lot of mucus and it hurts the kidneys. Okay. Also let them know that over 250 million animals are dying today because of us. If you want to save the planet, these animals consume, I think, 75% of our grains, a lot of the water. They release a lot of methane gas into the ozone. I mean, they can do a lot for the planet by doing this. Spiritually speaking, killing things that don't need to be killed, that haven't done you any harm, is karmically not a great idea. So these are all things you can do. You can actually go on to YouTube and you can show your partner the way that they kill some of these animals. I mean, it is just horrific, barbaric, completely senseless. So there's a lot of things you can do to raise their consciousness. You know, we're all good people when we get the right information. I really believe that. I mean, unless we're inhabited by a demonic spirit, you know. But we're all good people once we have the correct information. And I know it must be really difficult because, meat eaters, if you're not eating meat, you're vegetarian. I mean, meat eaters have a smell to them and just a beingness about them that's different. And so, yeah, I hope you get through and but do it gently, and help them. By getting them off meat, you're going to do so much for them health wise. It'll be a real blessing to them. And yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some tools to help them kick such a horrific habit in my view. Um, um, okay, yeah, I'll get you those ebooks, Helen, for sure. Okay, super cool banana. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, some really great questions, and I'm really getting inspired here by some of these. Okay, so here's a Sea Tahoe one. Okay, I recently relocated from Reno, Tahoe area to hot Arizona, over 120 degrees all summer, but now anything below 90, I'm cold all the time. Crazy, not sure how I'll go back to Tahoe now. Wow. All right. Wow, that's interesting. You know, I'm thinking about this. There's a thing that I was doing. I have a friend who's a surfer, as I am, and he's just a super athlete, and he we do this thing called Wim Hof. I guess it's a guy's name, Wim Hof, and what we'll do in the wintertime, the water gets down in the low 50s here in Ventura. We'll actually, after surfing, we'll take our wetsuit down and we'll sit in that cold water and for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we'll let that burn us. right? And then we'll get out and we'll shake it off and go back in for a couple rounds. And he actually has a big like tub that he puts ice in. And what this does is it builds up your resistance to cold, really well. I mean, you can surf longer in the cold and not get as cold and all that. It toughens you up. So I'm thinking maybe you went the other way. Maybe you were toughened up in Tahoe. You got to Phoenix, in the heat, and you lost your resistance, your body force um, to cold. I don't know. Yeah, definitely check your thyroid. I mean, it could be a sign that your thyroid is down. So, get a basal temperature thermometer and check your thyroid. That's where your body temperature is regulated. And anything below 97.8, you're on the cold side, and your thyroid needs to be improved. 97.8 to 98.3. And make sure when you get a basal thermometer that it is the kind that you can take under your arm. You want to do anywhere else, just under the arm. That's where the first thing in the morning before you get out of bed, before you move, just get that under the arm and take your temperature. 97.8 to 98.3. Okay, so that'll rule that out. But you might be having a reverse Wim Hof, or it could be thyroid. Okay? All right. All right, so let's see. When did you begin your healing journey from fibromyalgia? How did you feel? Oh, do you feel it's behind you now? Yeah, this was about, I guess it's about maybe, I got maybe 12, 15 years now. It's a long time ago. And yeah, I didn't know what it was in the beginning. And I was feeling great, my whole life. And, just never had anything like this. And I just started getting sore and sore and sore. So I took up yoga, and I would do a half hour, an hour of yoga every morning just to get moving. I live in a 3-story place. I'd walk down my stairs and just feel like I played, full contact football the night before. And I was taking a lot of ibuprofen and all that, and I didn't really realize it kind of crept up slowly. And I reached my turning point when I was actually standing at Malibu with my surfboard, and a small wave came as I was walking out into the surf. A small wave came, and hit me and knocked me back. And I actually had to have a friend help me back up, and because I was too sore to get up, and that's when I knew I was in trouble. So I started my healing journey from there. And initially, it became a test of food allergies. That's how, and I found out I was allergic to gluten and dairy, and the dairy especially. So yeah, it happened a long time ago. So I started from there, and then I steered the course all the way through. Made a lot of mistakes, and am I completely done with fibromyalgia? In other words, am I completely done from systemic acidosis? Am I completely acid-free all throughout my body? No. I'm still uncovering acids out of my body. And it makes sense because I cannot expect to do decades and decades of bad eating. I mean, I was eating everything. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, Big Macs and Whoppers and, just everything you can, Pop-Tarts and Fruit Loops and, just unbelievable amounts of garbage. And you cannot expect to come right back in a short amount of time. And I did find a lot of relief once I got the lymph moving and the kidneys filtering and all that. But still, you go in deeper and deeper and deeper. Each round you go in for detox, and you uncover, another layer of that onion. So, yeah, fibromyalgia for the most part is gone. The residual acidosis is always something we work on, and we all have to keep a diligent fight on these acids that are constantly coming in at us. So, anyways, yeah, not 100% behind me, but I hope one day I can sit here and say I'm 100% acid free. I can't feel any soreness in my body at all. And I can't say that. I mean, I still have some issues. Uh, I still have some issues in my feet. I can't walk out on the rocks like a lot of guys to go surfing. I've got to really find exactly the right rocks to step on. I can't just run out there like these kids. So there's acidosis in my feet for sure. There's some in the shins. Every once in a while, I get a little flare up in my left knee, um, in my sides, in my gut. If I don't eat properly, I'll get some inflammation. But for the most part, I've done the heavy lifting, I've done the heavy work. But yeah, I'm still. I guess we're always detoxing. That's part of this. And it does come in waves. I mean, I have waves where I feel completely acid free, and then I'll go back down. So, anyways, it's quite a journey. It's quite a process, and that's why they call it the art of detoxification. Okay. All right. Thanks again for your time. This has been very helpful. I found Dr. Morse approximately a year ago, but still had questions I could not always find answers to on all the massive videos. So this did the trick. Oh, great. Fantastic. That is good to know. Um, Change in humidity, Rocco says that, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I know Tahoe, the mountains can be super dry. And I remember getting off the plane in Phoenix one time during the summer, and when that door opened, it hit, man, that heat and that humidity. I guess there was some kind of a monsoon coming in. Those wet tropical air comes up from Baja, and then meets with that dry desert air, and just it can cause some real humidity and electrical storms and things like that. So yeah, that could be. Yeah, but definitely check the thyroid. I mean, we always go to the thyroid for that, and that's the first place I would stop. But yeah, humidity might be an issue there. That's a good call there. Um, I think I've gotten all your questions here, and I'm just going to double check. We're almost done here. As far as time wise, this has been a really great group here. I think I got you guys all here. If I didn't, let me know, and I'll help you guys. I got just a couple more minutes. Anyways, this is sort of the time where I kind of recap a little bit. There's just so much suffering out there, and so much needless suffering, and it's just due to our complacency and our ignorance and our belief. We're for the most part very trusting people, so we believe what we're told. And when you're a corporation, you have a different agenda than a person. Even though they want to call corporations people, and it's not the case. They have an agenda of making money, okay? And the performance of that corporation is based upon the bottom line. How much money did you make? How much did you grow the profits this year? How did the sales grow and all that? And they hire people, and they hire very aggressive people to run these companies. These are the same guys that run military operations and football teams. These are aggressive meat eaters, probably. But they're tough, and they want that bottom line to grow, come hell or high water. So their agenda is different than yours. Your agenda is, number one, to if you're ill, to get well, and also if you're not ill, you want to stay well. Your agenda here is wellness, okay? And so food corporations, medical corporations, pharmaceutical companies, all that. The CEO of Gilead Sciences, a pharmaceutical company, in 2013 made $180 million compensation in 1 year. Okay. Now, because this guy made a lot of profits for the company, and like they say in that industry, a patient cured is a customer lost. So beware, people. There's no conspiracy. It's just business. All right. Your business is to keep yourself well, and the only one that you can trust, in my opinion, is Mother Nature. Okay. And this is where I put my trust. And if you can return to the natural world, and deprogram yourself and start realigning with this, and you're gonna find your remedy, and you're gonna find just such wonderful healing on many levels, and the energy you get, and the health and the wellness and the vibrancy and all these things are just going to be fantastic. You're going to look at aging in a whole new way, okay? And it's a miracle. It truly is. And there's a lot of things about the plant world that we're now discovering, and I can talk about more of that later. This gets into some pretty high spiritual dimensions here, but the plant world is where it's at, and you're going to see this more and more as you get into it. I think I got one more question that came in. Do you want to mention? I just want to mention one thing. If you struggle with cold during the winter, try incorporate some hot spices in your diet. Ginger, for instance, has helped me. And it's 20 degrees Riley. Yeah, ginger is amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing herb. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can have ginger tea. Just go get some raw ginger and just grate it and make yourself a nice tea. That's a great idea. Yeah, for sure. Really wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. I know that one of the tricks that I do skiing is put cayenne pepper in the ski boots to help with heat up the ski boots. But yeah, no, ginger's great. Anyways, yeah, the plant world is where it's at. I wish you guys all a great week, and stay as raw as possible, stay as natural as possible. If you cheat, don't come down too hard. Take a look at that glycemic index and glycemic load. I think you're going to find some really great things to back up, this, to give you evidence that fruit is not such a demon. And I just thank you all for being here. And thanks, Helen, and thanks, Steve, for talking. Thank you, everybody, for all your kind words. We had a great group tonight, and we're going to have a lot of people watching these during the week. So we're going to help a lot of people. Your questions really help here, and they help me learn and help everyone else learn. So please get your questions ready during the week. If you have something during the week that you need an answer to, write it down and bring it to the forum. And if I don't know the answer, someone here will. And we have some wonderful healers that show up here. So anyways, God bless you all, and we'll see you here next week. And be well. Thank you.